We welcome you to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville, Florida, the Home Depot SEC. On CBS, the 52nd meeting between the Gators of Florida and the Seminoles of Florida State. Bobby Bowden, who a week ago won his 300th game as the head coach at FSU. And Urban Meyer, who is in his third year as the head coach of Florida. This team out of the contention for a national championship this year, but they are still the defending titleist. 7-4 Florida State against 8-3. And it's Jocelyn Shaw and Pat Davis, the deep men. This is Pat Davis. And he stopped at the 20-yard line. As Florida State, we're getting set. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, welcome to all of you. Gary, not the oldest rivalry, but certainly one of the most intense between these two.
And you know, I think for the first time in a long time, Vern, this is more about next year than this year. We know Florida's going to be an excellent football team. Florida State has showed the beginnings that they're on their way. The changes that Bobby Bowden has made are starting to take effect.
First down and 10. Drew Weatherford is in at quarterback. Here's the handoff. This is Preston Parker getting his second start as the running back. Started and ran for in excess of 100 last year in a win over Maryland. Drew Weatherford benched in the Alabama game in Jacksonville. That was the fourth game of the year. Gave way to Xavier Lee, but then came back 3 games later. Rose, Hudson, McMahon, Claude, and Boatman up front. Fagg, Carr, the wideouts. Parker in the backfield with Holloway. The tight end is Graham. Out of the spread. They hand it off to Parker. He goes left and is spilled at the 26-yard line. And let's go back to New York. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vernon, Gary, Tennessee up by 3, and moments ago, Andre Woodson looking to find Jacob Tamme. You see the ball is picked out of the air by Ricardo Kemp. Now the Volunteers have the ball and trying to wind down the clock. Kentucky is out of timeouts. It's 31-28. That could get them in the SEC championship.
Third and 5. Little motion from Derek Harvey. Weatherford gets around him. There is a flag down. Weatherford appears to have enough for the first down if the play stands, and I think it will.
Yeah, they'll probably decline it because Weatherford saw the offsides right in front of him with Harvey. You know, all those defensive linemen are trying to time up that silent snap count, and that time Harvey didn't time it up and he jumped into the neutral zone.
Offsides, number 91 on the defense. The penalty will be declined, will result in a first down.
Yeah, we continue with the lineups. Here's Harvey, McMillan, Pouncey, and Cunningham on the front 4. Jones, Brandon Spikes, Dustin Doe are the linebackers, and the secondary suspect, Wandy Pierre-Louis, Wright, Joyner, and Joe Hayden. Now let's double check and make sure Hayden is out there. He is not.
He's not out there.
Joe Hayden is not starting. And Jacquez Rickerson, number 23, is out at right corner. Here's Weatherford, quick flip, Parker. And he's out near the 38-yard line.
The diversity that Preston Parker can give Florida State is really tough for a defense to handle. They don't know prior to breaking the huddle whether he's going to line up at tailback or at wide receiver, and now he's just as dangerous at either. So that really causes problems for a defense because substitution-wise, they don't tip off where he lines up.
There's the handoff. Parker, big hole, and he elusively works his way across midfield to the 49-yard line. That's a pickup of 12, and Brandon Spikes makes the stop.
Yeah, he's in that, frame of a Reggie Bush where he breaks the huddle and you say, where's he going to go? And when you're a defense and you can see Florida right there overran him, you're thinking, all right, speed to the outside, and then he gashes him right up the gut.
113 yards last week. Now Anton Smith is in. He's hurting. He's got a shoulder problem, but he indicated that he'll give it a try. Weatherford back. Left side, it's caught at the 43-yard line by Joslin Shaw, number 80. Only his 13th catch of the season.
Drew Weatherford, a guy who's had the job, has had great stats all year, right, Vern? I mean,
yes.
1 interception all year, and yet he got benched in that game we did against Alabama. Xavier Lee came on, and then you can see Weatherford stayed with it. He did not give up, and look at how much better he's playing since that benching against Alabama.
He's close to becoming only the second player in FSU history to throw 200 passes without an interception. Chris Winkie did it back in 98 and 99.
Florida had to take a timeout because they had 12 men on the field, and they would have been penalized. In fact, the flag came out, but they got the timeout.
Florida, that's their first timeout.
And so the time comes, the timeout comes with 11:46 to go in the first quarter.
Well, and you know, I think, Vern, he won this football team over in that Alabama game when he got benched. And we noticed at that time, remember,
right. I sure
during
do.
a touchdown by Xavier Lee, it was a touchdown pass, and it's your guy that replaced you, and you stay involved, and you're excited. His teammates noticed that. And when he got his shot again, they said, we'll play for this guy. And when he came back, his numbers have been outstanding, and this Florida State defense has really offense has really progressed.
Well, he has now thrown 199 passes without an interception. He has the one you see on the right side of the graphic this year. 60%, 1,600 yards. Second down and 2. Deep handoff to Anton Smith. He's got a first down as Florida State works after the opening kickoff. And they've got a first down at the 36-yard line.
See, if you're looking at the Florida defense, you're saying, where really do I want to attack? I mean, they're very injured in the defensive tackle spot, and they're very weak in the secondary. So now you're saying, what do I really want to do? And I think the plan is both.
First and 10. And they'll go from the spread. 2 wide receivers to the right side, and Parker is the running back. He gets the handoff, goes left, tackled at the 35-yard line by Mike Pouncey, one of the freshman twins for this team. His brother Marquise is a starting guard in the offense. He was a backup lineman offensively, and they switched him mid-season to the defensive side of it.
Yeah, and he's turned into be a plugger. He's going to be one of those guys that stops the run and just stands. He's not a great pass rusher. I don't really know how he could be. He hadn't had any practice at defensive line. So he's in there just taking up big space and has done a good job.
Second down and 8. Reverse. Joslin Shaw. What a block he got from Weatherford. Oh, boy. The quarterback leads the way and cuts out a defender.
Well, he won his team over by staying in this football team when he got benched. And then he continues to do it. As you can see, all the flow goes one way, and then this is wide open. He gets Major right here. Look at that outside leg. You throw at that outside knee, and that's exactly what he did.
Great block by Drew Weatherford and a pickup of 25 yards. First down at the 11-yard line. Preston Parker is the running back. Play fake. Weatherford got a man open. Tipped. And incomplete. Major right. Now let's update you on Tennessee and Kentucky. Here's Tim.
All right, Vern, Kentucky did get the ball back, and on a crucial 3rd and 11, Andre Woodson 16 yards to Jacob Tamme. They've got the ball near midfield. I do want to make a correction. There are 2 timeouts left, so ample time for Kentucky to either tie or take the lead in this game. Back to you.
All right, Tim.
And we've watched so many of these games, we're not surprised by anything, are we?
No. No. Second down, 10. Quarterback draw. Weatherford down at the 3-yard line. Tackle made by Brandon Spikes. Under 10 to go first quarter. It's 3rd and 2.
Example again now. Preston Parker. Now he was a go-to wide receiver who is now lining up at tailback. When he went in motion that time, he matched up with a linebacker. In fact, Preston Parker, after the play, put his hands on his head and said, I can't believe what they're trying to cover me with. Why aren't you throwing me the ball?
3rd and 2. I formation. Play fake. Weatherford. Pressure. Tipped. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Derek Harvey got a hand up.
And he's got a big wingspan. There's no doubt about that. You have to throw around those guys or get that offensive line to knock those hands down. Watch Harvey come around to the outside. It was just one hand, really. And actually, it was decent coverage by Florida. It would have been a tough throw anyway.
That'll bring on Gary Sismasia. He's 23 of 29 for the season. This will be a chip shot, 21 yards away. Knocks it home. A very impressive opening drive by the Seminoles of Florida State. They go 80 yards and get the 21-yard field goal on the first drive of the ball game and take a 3-0 lead.
It really was. It was workmanlike. They did it, and they are running this offense now around Preston Parker, and we all know who Florida's going to run their offense around, don't we?
I think it could be the guy wearing 15, right?
It sure is.
13 plays, 76 yards officially, and it took 5:47 off the clock. Sismasia from 21 yards away, and Drew Weatherford. Impressive leadership, and the most impressive was the block. And so now the sophomore Tim Tebow.
He has it all. He has it is basically what he has. And, you know, when we first saw him a year ago, you know, he was bringing emotion. He was different than Chris Leak. And we saw him start that way this year. And then we saw that power as a quarterback. He was the physical presence. And now lately, he is learning how to become a quarterback. And now he's really becoming lethal because he's got 4 wide receivers out there. He's got a running game, and he also has the threat of running himself. Vern, I think these will be his best running stats he ever has because they're going to add a running back in the future, and he's going to become a better passer. He's never going to have to play like he did this year. And this guy right here, me, didn't think he could do it. I did not think he could survive the SEC doing what he has done this year.
Well, survive and surpass. 26 and 20.
Absolutely.
The first player in NCAA history to throw for more than 20 and to run. Here's a squib kick, and the Gators will take it at the 37-yard line. And there's a scrum out at the 48-yard line.
I don't mind the squib kick, but that was too conservative. You're conceding 40-yard line field position to Florida. That's going to be tough on your defense.
Well, you've met Tim Tebow, and take a look at his stats. The sophomore from nearby, 68% for the season.
68%.
Isn't that stunning? 26 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
I told people he'd never do it.
Watkins, Tart, Miller, Pouncey, and Metter. The offensive line, there's Caldwell, Harbin, Percy Harbin back after 2 weeks out with migraine headaches. He's the deep back in the eye. They hand it off to him, and he is in trouble. Now let's go back to New York. Once again, here's Tim.
All right, Vern, Andre Woodson continues this drive, keeping it alive on a 3rd and 3, hitting Raphael Little. They are setting up for a potential game-tying field goal. The ball at the 33 now. 1 timeout remaining for the Big Blue. Back to you, Vern.
All right, thank you, Tim. It's 3-0 here with 8:34 to go in the first. And here is Tebow with an empty backfield. Goes short to Cornelius Ingram. And Ingram inside the 45 on the 2nd down play. Derek Nicholson makes the stop after a gain of 13. Defensively for the Seminoles, Brown, Thacker, Fluellen, Neefe, Moffitt up front. The linebackers are Watson, Nicholson, and Gino Hayes. And the secondary, Carter, Williams, Roll, and Robinson, who has 6 interceptions for the season. Keyston Moore is in the backfield along with Percy Harvin. They hand it off to Keyston Moore. He comes left and doesn't get much.
That's basically the innovation that Urban Meyer has brought to college football. He and Rich Rodriguez basically are the two guys. It is almost a triple option out of shotgun formation. We've seen everybody do it. We even saw Derek McFadden do it yesterday, didn't we?
Yes.
Same play.
2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard gain. 3-0 here midway through quarter number 1. Here's Tebow. Puts it in Harvin's belly, brings it out, throws it away as he's being chased. And once again, let's get you back to New York. Here's Tim.
The drive continues, Vern, as you see Andre Woodson going to Dickie Lyons. This is a 3rd and 15 play. And just a completion moments ago, a complete pass inside the 5-yard line, so a chance for Kentucky to win it outright. Lona Sieber also with a chance to tie it potentially. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Tim. Of course, so much on the line. If Tennessee wins, they face LSU next week in Atlanta. If Kentucky wins, it's going to be Georgia against LSU. 3rd and 9. 3-0 here.
This is the down, 3rd and long that FSU's defense must win.
Blitz. Tebow. Oh, he's getting a big rush from the corner.
There's a timeout.
And there's a flag down as well. And a little jawing going on. Neefe Moffitt is part of that.
And I think Florida State must try to make this a physical game. It's very difficult to do that against Florida.
Now, was the timeout?
Before the snap, delay of game on the offense, number 15, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Now, Urban Meyer will be letting the referees know that we'll take some hits from Tebow before the whistle blows, but afterwards we don't want Gino Hayes smacking our quarterback in the head. That should have been a 15-yard penalty.
Sure should have.
Yep.
And it was Gino Hayes who provided the bulletin board material earlier this week. Here's Tebow. He'll step up. He'll run.
Look at that.
Oh, will he run?
That.
I would imagine he's looking around saying, where's Gino Hayes?
There he goes. See, this guy really likes it this way. I mean, he's different. He's got a linebacker mentality and a quarterback. Well, I didn't think quarterback body. I don't know what kind of body he's had. But he has a linebacker mentality. The rougher it gets, the better he likes it. I mean, he just relishes this kind of stuff.
And so a 16-yard gain on 3rd and 14. Harvin. Out of bounds inside the 25. And once again, let's go back to New York. Here's Tim.
Coming down to cases in Kentucky, Vern, Andre Woodson goes with the fade route to Keenan Burton, but the penalty is on Brent Vinson. 1st and goal at the 2 for Kentucky. 13 seconds left, and they still have a timeout left. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. And let's see, they'll stretch the chain and see if Harvin picked up the 1st down. Second and inches.
I
3-0.
I think Bobby Bowden right now is looking over at number 15 and goes, I got 2 more years of this? Maybe I better rethink this thing through.
So second down. Andre Caldwell goes wide to the right. 3-0. And here's Tebow with the empty backfield again. Steps in under pressure. How about that? Here's Tebow. Touchdown, Florida. Pretty impressive.
No one has ever seen anything like this Tim Tebow phenomenon.
He goes 23, bangs in from the 5. His 21st rushing touchdown of the year.
You know, he's got to be 4.5 in the 42. I'll tell you, that's a scary dude when he turns upfield. He should have been sacked.
Yes. But instead, he goes 23 for the touchdown. And here's the extra point. Joey Eos. And 7-3 here. Let's go back to Tim.
All right, Vern, this could be the game-tying field goal with 1 second left. Craig Bolerjack ready for the call, and we've got a timeout being taken. So 1 second left. Let's listen in to Craig Bolerjack and Steve Burlock.
This game, can you believe the SEC? Triple overtime at Baton Rouge
last night.
Today we're just on the brink of overtime, and yet to come Florida State.
Now we don't want to assume anything. That Siebert, that young man's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Everybody in this stadium and all the pressure these senior class has of trying to end that 22-year streak. But yeah, you sit there and think, man, this is probably going to go to overtime. This SEC is unbelievable.
I mean, every weekend there's a storyline, whether you knock off number 1 or you have triple overtime.
And there's a reason why the SEC has commitments to have at least 8 teams in the bowl games. At least 8 teams, possibly 9.
What you're telling me, they play good football.
They play good. They know how to play football, and I'll tell you, these coaches know how to coach, and these players, they lay it on the line every week. They have to. It's hard to win a ball game in this league. And Rich Brooks, what can you say about the job he's done getting the respectability back into this University of Kentucky football team? All these seniors say it's his mentality, his never say die, gonna fight till the end mentality prevails, and tonight's another great example of that.
Brooks is on the verge of consecutive 8-win seasons. Here we go. Lona Siebert, sophomore, Knoxville, Tennessee, 20-yard field goal will send it in to overtime. That's where we're headed. From 20 yards with 1 second on the clock, 31 all.
All right, so there you have it. We're tied at 31, and we'll keep you posted, Vern, as we go into the OT. Let's get back to you in Gainesville.
All right, Tim, thank you. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
Wow. That's right, every week. Well, here Tim Tebow's 23-yard scamper has put Florida on top 7-3.
Number 94, Justin Mincy's going to come off the right side of Tebow and have a clear shot at him. Runs right through a trapping guard and should make the sack. Geno Hayes misses the tackle, and from there on in, it's just a guy you have to take on straight on, because if you don't, he's running 4.5 and he's 240 pounds.
And so his 21st rushing touchdown of the season, followed by the extra point, puts Florida on top 7-3.
You wonder if he wouldn't have hurt that shoulder, where would Florida be now?
And remember that It was really sensitive in the Georgia game.
Yes.
Here's the kick. Michael Ray Garvin, number 29. Oh, he's got some room. Kyle Jackson just does miss him, and he gets out to the 33-yard line. As we've mentioned, 21 touchdowns for Tim Tebow. Most rushing touch. He surpassed Garrison Hurst, who had 19. Sean Alexander, Alabama, 19. LeBrandon Tofield. That's a trio of pretty decent running backs.
Yeah, I think he's passing a lot of people this year.
First down and 10. 6:22 to go, opening quarter. Blitz. No, it wasn't a blitz. It was just a heck of an escape by Cunningham, and the ball comes out. Yeah, there's the flag.
Yeah, intentional grounding.
Yep.
You know, with Cunningham and Harvey, that is probably the weakest point for this Florida State offense that they're worried about. Can their tackles block these speed rushers from the outside?
Intentional grounding, number 11 on the offense. The ball did not cross the line of scrimmage. Loss of down at the spot of the foul.
Doesn't really mean much. He was going to get sacked anyway. The penalty is basically where he was before. That was actually a bust in protection. You never turn the end loose and block the outside blitzer. That was just a bust in protection. That's why you called it a blitz. It was a blitz. They blocked the wrong guy.
Yeah. Second and 18. 7-3, 6:16 to go. Preston Parker is the running back. Parker goes around the corner left side. Joyner comes up to make the initial contact, and there's a little more shoving going on in the sideline. Brandon Spikes, number 51, involved with that. 3rd and 13.
Can Florida State find some matchups in the secondary? Of course they can. Their receivers are bigger than anybody Florida has, and they should be able to throw it anytime they want to out there, man-to-man coverage.
Well, you got Carr at 6'6", Fag at 6'3". The two primary wideouts. There are 3 wides on the field here. Gators bring 5. Weatherford chased as he rolls right. He is nailed as he lets it go by Justin Tratto, who is a freshman.
Yeah, it was the blitz package again, though, that really blew up this play before it started. Florida State must patch up their protection. Watch Joyner come inside and free. Watch him. Wide open and free. Joyner forces him out of the pocket, and Tratto comes in and levels him. If Florida State cannot figure out the blitz package, they're going to see it every down.
That will bring on Graham Gano, first punt of the ball game. And Brandon James, the elusive one, will make a fair catch call at the 32-yard line. 37-yard punt. Nothing on the return. Tomorrow on Cold Case, he was class valedictorian, good-looking, charming, and popular. So why did every co-ed on campus want him dead? Find out on an all-new Cold Case tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on CBS. First down and 10. Tim Tebow, 12 passing yards, 39 rushing yards, a total of 51, and this is the second possession.
Did pretty good in his first one, but the long scramble on 3rd down to pick up the first down is really that busted that drive.
3 wide to the left, 1 right. Tebow. Harvin out to the 39-yard line. Now Percy Harvin, victimized by migraine headache, said he's really had problems with migraines since he was about 10 years old.
Well,
but they hit with a vengeance a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they did. And I think what happened, though, when Harvin was out, it forced Florida to learn how to throw the ball. Because they stopped doing all that stuff, and they said, Timmy, You got a bum shoulder without Harvin. Let's throw it to our tight ends and our wide receivers, and they become a better passing team because of an injury.
Brandon James is in the backfield now. They ride him. He gets the handoff and works to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short. And let's get some more on Percy Harvin from Tracy Wolfson.
Yeah, you guys mentioned his migraines that kept him out of 2 games that were so bad. He said he was dizzy, he couldn't see, he couldn't walk. He was consistently in and out of the hospital. He was in so much pain, he had to just lay motionless with the lights out, and often he couldn't even sleep. He cried himself to sleep. He threw up 30 times a day, but finally they found a medication that worked, and he said he feels a lot better. Practice Monday and is back out here today.
All right, Trace. Brandon James stays on the field on 3rd and 2. Tebow backs up across the middle, caught by Caldwell. And Caldwell has a first down out to the 48-yard line. Dakota Watson, number 36, with the tackle.
I really believe, and I've thought this for 2 years, and every defensive coordinator I talk to argues with me, and I guess they're right, but I don't see how you can play zone against this crossing 5-receiver offense. You get too many easy throws. Look at that. You get Harvin in space, that's basically giving them a first down if you don't get a sack. I think the way to play him is the way Arkansas played him last year. Couple of free safeties and man underneath.
First down and 10. Here's Tebow. Harvin. Oh, boy. Once he's into the secondary, he becomes a special player. Let's go back to New York once again. Here's Tim Brendo.
All right, Vern, as you know, we're in overtime. First overtime, Andre Woodson throws 2 passes, 2 completions, and a touchdown. Look at the cushion Keenan Burton has to get in. The extra point is good. 38-31. Tennessee's turn next. Back to you, Vern.
All right, Tim, thank you. 7-3 here. It's first down and 10, Florida, on Harvin's scamper. Lewis Murphy now breaks the huddle and goes wide to the right side. And Keyston Moore is the running back with Eric Rutledge in motion now, number 29. Back up. Tebow deep in the corner. He's got a man open. Yes! Lewis Murphy.
You know, a bad break for Tebow. The Kentucky game went long because he made 2 signature plays and the whole country's not watching.
I agree. Because let's face it, he's in a bid for the Heisman.
Did it get it down, though? Did he get that foot down? Here's one look at it.
It appears so.
Well, it looks like he did.
Side judge was right there.
Yep.
Police officer got out of the way. Yes.
How perfect is that throw? You're supposed to throw for the deep pylon right there. Now that ball misses that pylon by about a half a yard, and he misses it to the inside where you should miss it. You can't throw a football. What did he throw that ball? 45 yards in the air, maybe 50 yards in the air within a yard of his target. That's incredible. It's not fair. You know those the Miss America girls that are envious of all the pretty ones? You know, that's how I feel right now. I'm envious. I didn't get any of that stuff he's got.
Few did.
That's for sure.
Well, the play is under review, but it appeared.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Gary, you make a very good point. He's had 2 terrific plays, and the state of Florida has seen them both.
That's exactly right. Now, they'll catch him on replay, obviously, but live is always dramatic.
Ehas with the extra point. It's up and good.
Lewis Murphy, another one of those big play receivers that defensive coordinator Mickey Andrews said, you know, usually you have one guy that can go deep that you're nervous of. Florida has 4 of them you're nervous about going deep.
2 touchdowns first quarter, and we've still got 2:46 to go. It's 14-3. Gators. 5 plays, 68 yards. It took 2:24. Tebow to Murphy for the touchdown. And so now Tebow will rest. Eos will kick off. 13 straight with both.
Yeah, and you know they're the only team in the country that has run and passed for a touchdown in every game this year. Might be because they got that guy.
Joslyn Shaw and Michael Ray Garvin are the deep men now.
Well, Florida State now, you know, they came out with some bravado. They had a good first drive. Can they figure out how to pass protect? That's the key, or they're going to get blown out.
Here's the kick. Garvin drifts back. He will bring it out from 2 yards into the end zone. Cut down at the 23-yard line. Brandon Hicks. Well, this, as we mentioned at the outset, this is not the oldest rivalry. The first meeting was 1958, Florida State. It took place here in Gainesville at what was then called Florida Field. Led by a block punt recovered for a touchdown and strong defense, the Gators won the inaugural game 21-7, beginning a 6-game unbeaten streak against their in-state rivals, and they've won the last 3.
And that, you know, all those historical things are great to look at. The most important thing for this rivalry right now, Florida has won the last 3.
First down, Parker caught and dropped. Derek Harvey, who's had a big presence here in the early going.
You know, we haven't seen Florida in a couple weeks, and they've had, you know, that Georgia game, and they were a bit out of sorts that game because Tebow was nicked. But they seem so quick out there tonight, watching them early in this football game. Harvey and Cunningham are on fire, and maybe it's because of the blitz package, but right now Florida State must find a way to protect.
Second down, loss in the last play. Parker is back alongside Drew Weatherford. From the outside, Weatherford hit as he lets it go, but the pass is caught. And then Charlie Graham gets a few extra yards. Let's go back to New York. Once again, here's Tim Brandon.
It's me again, Vern. Eric Ainge, a 10-yard strike to Gerald Jones. Take a close look because this was reviewed, but the call stood up. Touchdown, extra point good. Second overtime now. We're tied at 38. Back to Vern and Gary.
What a weekend, huh? After last night's 50-48 classic in Baton Rouge. 3rd and 2 here, 14-3.
Let's see if Florida comes again. Only a 3-man line here. Will they give them a blitz package from it?
Time called by Florida State.
There's no worse feeling for an offense to have the feeling that the defense has something that they know that you're not sure what it is. Like they have a blitz that they figured out your protection scheme. That's Jimbo Fisher right there talking to Drew Weatherford. And he must gain the confidence in his team that he has it figured out, or this thing could go south real quick.
Tomorrow on the Amazing Race, down 2, 14-3, Florida.
This is the matchup you'd like right here. He's going to have linebackers on him. Preston Parker.
Oops, a little motion. And the ball is delivered. There are 2 flags down.
Should be an automatic first down here.
Yeah, I think so.
Offsides, number 95 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, which will result in a first down.
And so they march off 5.
And it's hard to, if you're a Florida fan, really be upset with penalties because last year Florida led the country in penalties and they won the national championship.
Right.
So, you know, Coach, Please, don't want to hear it.
First down and 10 after the 5-yarder. Preston Parker is hit, and look how elusive he is as he works his way almost back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that time it was Cunningham, number 49, and the quickness of Harvey and Cunningham are giving the two tackles trouble for Florida State. They can't hook him. Watch Cunningham right there. Watch this. He is in the backfield. They can't block him. Look at this. He just blows the play up that time, and Darren Rose had no chance, and that blew up the play.
And so second down, 11.
Florida State's supposed to know the snap count. They should be getting off like that.
I formation. Weatherford with the play fake. Flips it left side. 3 blockers in front. And there's Parker, but he can't. Oh, yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
Whoa. And once again, let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
Second overtime, Eric Ainge is going to look for Lucas Taylor, Vern, but the ball is going to be tipped into the air by Trevard Lindley. Then Sam Maxwell picks it off. Kentucky will have the ball with a chance to win it with a field goal, and potential great news for Georgia and maybe even LSU, where national title hopes are concerned. Back to you.
Thanks, Tim. It's a first down and 10 here as Parker avoided the tackle and picks up the first. Here's Weatherford, backs off.
He knows A.J. Jones is coming right here. Here he comes.
Weatherford comes near side. Oh, was that ever close? It was intended for Carr, and Jaquez Rickerson, who is getting the start tonight for Joe Hayden. It's his second start of the season.
I love the game plan for Florida, and I'll tell you why. They've got a wide receiver playing running back in Preston Parker. So they're going to blitz, and now the defensive backs are saying he's not going to have time to throw, so I'm going to squat. And what happens here, they don't believe that Preston Parker can pick up the blitzes. How much practice could he have had? And if they're coming at him with linebackers, they feel that's a good matchup.
Anton Smith is out there now on second down and 10. Weatherford will keep it, go left. He's got a blocker in front. Look at him motor. First down at the 40-yard line.
See, that evens it up. That's why it's hard to blitz Florida. They even it up with the quarterback run.
Let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, this is Kentucky's chance to win it in the second overtime. Lona Sieber lining up. Tennessee has called the timeout
of the period.
And that's their one timeout of the period. Let's take you now to Craig Bolerjack and Steve Berline, who have the scene to set for you.
Two things at stake in this game in Lexington, and there's a buzz, of course, in this crowd. They're going to rush the field if the victory comes, because it's been 22 years, 1984, since a victory over Tennessee. And if Tennessee would lose this game, that means Georgia, who I'm sure is around a television set, is going to book plans to play LSU in Atlanta for the SEC championship on CBS.
Yep. There is so much at stake here for so many different programs. And all Kentucky wants is to end this thing on the right note and to get to that warm bowl game, as Jeremy Jarman told us in our interview. Hey, give me someplace warm.
It comes down to this. Lona Sieber's right foot, 35-yarder. Here we go. Picked up after the block. Tennessee rumbling. Still throwing that ball. It's still loose. My goodness, could it be? Oh, that may be a face mask. Multiple flags are down at the 35-yard line. The field goal blocked, and Tennessee had a chance to run it back.
Are you kidding me? I don't think the penalty will affect anything because Tennessee was on defense. They can't run their kicker out, and it just becomes...
Well, I'm sure you're not surprised, Vern. It is business as usual in the Southeastern Conference. Let's get back now to Gainesville. We'll keep you posted on overtime in Lexington.
No, Tim, I'm not surprised at all. We've reached the second quarter here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. It's 14-3. Florida State has the ball and a first down. As they switch ends, they've got the ball just inside the 40-yard line at the 39.
Most interesting thing in my mind so far in this football game is you've got Preston Parker, who's a mismatch when he goes out for a pass towards Florida State, but when he stays in the backfield, it's a mismatch for Florida. It's very, very interesting kind of chess or checker game going on right now.
14-3, first down and 10. Weatherford deep left side for Parker. Incomplete. Flag is down as well. And so illegal procedure is going to be the call, it appears.
Illegal formation. 6 men on the line. The left tackle was back. The penalty is declined. It will be second down.
Second and 10. Excuse
well,
me, Gary.
if you had to block those defensive ends, I might cheat back also. So, he's faster than you. Move back a little bit.
Second down 10. 14-3. Justin Tratto out of Ramsey, New Jersey, getting increased playing time as the season has gone on. Weatherford still has it, pulls it up, lobs it out. Preston Parker.
Look how good.
Oh, boy.
Look how good he snagged that thing. I mean, he just snapped it. Brandon Spikes was trailing maybe a half a yard away. You're going to see him come right out, just come right into the area right there. And Weatherford gets a player in his face as he throws it and makes a good throw. But look at that, that's fairly decent coverage. And Preston Parker catches it and turns up. See, when he comes out of the backfield, he's a mismatch. When he stays in the backfield, he's a mismatch for each team.
First down and 10. Parker with 55 yards. Anton Smith is in there now. He gets the handoff. And a couple of hard-earned yards to the 26-yard line. (14-3) opening minute of the second quarter. Second down and 9.
Now, one of the things you can't do if you're Florida State is panic and give up your game plan. Both defensive lines start out the games quick with a lot of energy. Usually as you wear them down with the running game and throw, they'll slow down.
14 runs, 10 passes thus far. This is the 25th play on offense. Weatherford will throw it, and it's intended left side for Greg Carr.
You know, that wasn't a great throw, but you've seen it. That's very difficult for those big, tall receivers to go down and make those catches below their waist. Now, this one, Greg Carr, who used to be a jump ball catcher. Now he's learned how to be a receiver. He goes down, catches it, and gets down. That's where you want to throw those things.
3rd and 1.
And I think it's 4-down territory. They either make this, yes, they'll go for it again, I think.
Florida's had the ball for only 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Made the most of that time. It's 3rd and short. Timeout. Florida State. That is their second, so 1 remaining. Kind of a pretty night, huh?
Yeah, well, a lot of things have happened with that full moon. Last night was one of them.
You know, moon over Gainesville doesn't sound quite as
no, you
nice
got to work on it. We got to work
moon
on
over Miami.
We got to
yeah.
work on the lyrics on that
Yeah, yeah. Orbit over Gainesville. The CBS Sports Store is the perfect place to save big on gifts for all the sports fans in your life. Today only, you can save 20% on all officially licensed NCAA jerseys and caps. Get it now at cbssportsstore.com.
You wonder if Florida State gets in a run formation and tries to steal one deep.
Parker and Holloway in the backfield.
This tight end would be open.
That run didn't work at the 20-yard line. On 3rd down, they're short. Now we'll see if they do go for it on 4th. Mike Pouncey.
Well, I might lose confidence after watching that play going for on 4th down. You got to block someone up there, man. They're going to go field goal. I mean, that really is somewhat of embarrassing if you're Florida State.
I think.
Florida has 2 safeties deep, and you can't gain a half a yard.
It was Holloway, and so now Sismagia for the field goal. This will be from 38 yards away. Good. So Gary Sismagia, the senior from Parrish, Florida, is 2 for 2 tonight. It's 14-6 with 12:22 to go in the first half.
Florida State has shown that they can move the ball, even though their protections have been giving them problems. But now, can they stop Florida? That's the next question.
Bobby Bowden's first win in this historic rivalry, and this is the 34th game he's coached. It came in 1977. Seminole quarterback Jimmy Jordan threw 4 touchdown passes on the day, 3 of them to Roger Overby, as Florida State coasted to a 37-9 victory in Gainesville, ending a 9-game losing streak to the Gators in the process. And once again, let's go back to New York and check in with Tim Brando.
All right, remember now, fellas, in the third overtime, you have to go for 2. Andre Woodson is going to hit Keenan Bird an 11-yard strike, so they're up 6. They go for 2, and Woodson has the pass picked off. But watch this. It's knocked away. It could have been recovered for the conversion, but it was knocked out of bounds by Tennessee. Tennessee has the ball now in the third OT, Vern.
All right, Tim.
And remember, the third overtime was the overtime that Kentucky beat Florida.
Right. Andre Woodson to Steve Johnson.
To LSU.
It beat LSU, right.
Excuse me.
And then the next week, this Florida team
That's
went
right.
up and beat Kentucky. We've seen a lot. And as a result, I mean, we keep going back to Tim for these updates. I'm not surprised by anything that's happening in that game. Here's the kickoff from Graham Gano, and it's short. Taken on the run by Brandon James. Looks for a block, and he comes right out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
How valuable is a kickoff man nowadays in college football with moving it back to the 30-yard line? Look at this field position again.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a guy that can put it in the end zone, that's huge.
You know, just thinking about the Kentucky team that's playing right now, they've got maybe the best. Tim Mastay is over 20 in terms of touchbacks this year.
That's just whole different offense you can run from your 35-yard line than you can from your 20-yard line.
Mastay is the kickoff man for the University of Kentucky. First down and 10. Here's Tebow, only the 3rd possession of the night. Harvin tries to bounce it outside and can't. Well, the SEC, of course, Tennessee and Kentucky in their 3rd overtime. If Tennessee prevails and wins, they will go in against LSU next Saturday in Atlanta for the SEC championship. If Kentucky wins, then Georgia is in. And it's 2nd down and 12 here. Tebow, empty backfield. Harvin now joins him. Nice catch. Lewis Murphy, who has the touchdown grab, reaches up and takes that one out of the sky. That's a gain of 11.
He's putting on a show, isn't he? Lewis Murphy caught the deep ball. Now he's going to snag this one. He's in the slot right on the hash there. Goes out. I think he one-hands this one. He does. All-state basketball player. His high school team won the state championship, and I bet he had some rebounds that looked just like that one.
Tony Carter slipped, allowed him to get free. And it's a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, watch the deep ball here. Nope, it wasn't.
No. Flagged. This one apparently will go against. Well, let's wait.
Before the snap, false start on the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
See if somebody moved just a bit. Had to have been the right guard, was it, that time? Maurice Pouncey, the brother of Michael.
I'll believe you.
It was
Iffy.
well, couldn't really tell.
3rd and 6. 14-6 is the score. Tebow, he's got Ingram. And a first down for the Gators at the 41.5-yard line. 17-yard gain.
The Florida State linebacker came clean, but watched the quick throw to the outside. Just go out, stop, turn around. That's a mismatch right there. Been a mismatch all year, and now finally Cornelius Ingram is healthy again. Last 3 or 4 games, he's back to the old CI.
Percy Harvin and Ingram have highlighted this one, and it's first down and 10. Tebow 6 of 7 so far. Harvin is back there with Tim Tebow on first down and 10. Well, and let's go back once again. This update from Tim Brando.
Okay, Vern, so Eric Ainge gets the ball back. Plenty of cushion from Kentucky's defense. Austin Rogers takes it into the end zone, so Tennessee has to go for 2. Watch this open field tackle by lucky number 7, David Jones, against Arian Foster. We're going to a 4th OT in Lexington. Vern.
Why should we not on this Thanksgiving holiday?
It's amazing.
Yes, it is. 5-yard penalty here against Florida.
Florida State, 11 men within 5 yards.
Now Keyston Moore comes wide to the right side. Here's Tebow. Little crossing pattern underneath. This is Andre Caldwell. And he's tackled at the 33-yard line. 13-yard gain.
So you get back outside. Get it in the seam again, zone defense, just find the seams. I tell you, Tebow says, you know, I just might as well look for number 5, and I'm going to wait on number 5 here. Tebow takes it, gets his feet moving, stays ready, and very compact. He's shortened that throwing motion, didn't overthrow that at all.
Play fake, under pressure. He's got a man open if he can get it there. The pressure caused the incompletion as Caldwell was running free, and Tebow had to get rid of it.
You know, I think Cornelius Ingram might have caused this incompletion as much as anything. He was throwing the ball to Caldwell, but Ingram sees it and runs after it and brings his man. There's Caldwell. He's got a bead on it. I think he might catch it, but in comes Ingram. See Ingram's hand right there? That you can't really help it, and Tebow did a great job. He gave ground, and just threw it up. Either his guy gets it or nobody, but Ingram sees the ball and actually gets in the way of Caldwell.
Riley Cooper is on the field now, near side. Here's Tebow.
You know, it's just so hard to play physical against this team because they keep you off balance with their offense. You just can't tee up and hit the guy very often. You know, they give you a little option, they give you a little play action, then they give you a little Tebow. This is Tebow as a freshman right here. And, you know, the one you don't want is a little Tebow. I might take the option in the pass. I don't want a little Tebow.
And the Gators are now 4 of 4 on third down conversions. First down from the 25. There's the option, the pitch. Harvin out of bounds inside the 15. And let's go back once again. Tim Brando in New York.
Vern, at the tail end of that last overtime play when Foster was stopped, he threw the ball away, so he got an unsportsmanlike. That backed him up to the 40. No problem. Eric Ainge to Quentin Hancock. And it's 50-44 with the 2-point conversion to come, and I can tell you they just completed it. It's now 52-44, and we'll show that to you in a second, Brian.
My gracious.
The only thing that makes me want to half vomit is that all those stats count. It's just such a distorting the football game. It's just ridiculous. I don't know who thought that up. Wasn't my idea, you can tell, can't you?
Here's Tebow. Diving try incomplete. Well, we promised you the 2-point conversion try. Here's Tim.
All right, Vern. Eric Ainge to Austin Rogers. This is huge because now it means Kentucky's got to convert both the touchdown and the 2-pointer to keep this thing alive. Back to you.
All right, Tim.
Boy, Eric Ainge has delivered in the clutch in this football game, hasn't he? Had the lead, they let it get away, and then he came back.
2nd down and 10 here. 14-6 is the score midway through quarter number 2. Harvin. Tebow finds Lewis Murphy. Touchdown, Gators.
Tebow has improved his passing. He has really improved.
Second touchdown catch for Murphy. Second touchdown throw for Tebow. Joey Ehas will try the extra point. Three possessions, 3 touchdowns.
Lewis Murphy was a deep threat, and now he's learning how to run routes. Come out inside. He's got an inside technique. Look, that's too easy to beat. That is not good enough. You have to have better coverage than that. You have no chance. J.R. Bryant needs to get up. If you're going to get beat, you might as well have a chance to stop him.
Back to New York. Once again, here's Tim.
All right, Vern, thank you. We're going to take you now into Lexington. You see they are driving are the Wildcats. And let's listen in to Craig Bolerjack and Steve Berline. 52-44, 4th overtime, Kentucky with possession. Here they are.
Quarterbacks, 67 of 107 passes, 5 interceptions and 13 touchdowns.
Oh, this will be long remembered.
We said there's going to be a lot of balls in the air. And we've got a player hurt on the field.
Tennessee player down. Can't see the number at the 5.
It might be Xavier Mitchell again. I saw a 3 in there. That was a tremendous run, though. When he gets going, when he makes that turn around the corner.
All right, because of the injury, we're going to take you back now to Vern and Gary. The ball is at the 3-yard line. We'll keep you posted. Let's get back to Gainesville.
All right, here is the kickoff after the Florida touchdown taken by Michael Ray Garvin. And he's out to the 33-yard line. So 21-6 with 8:41. Another look at the Murphy catch.
Well, the position, the way J.R. Bryant lined up, and the ability of Tebow to throw the ball accurately now, you have no chance if you're Florida State. You did not line up to give yourself a chance. An out route and a decent throw beats you. It didn't even have to be a great throw. It was a great throw, but you have to come up and challenge the receivers, or you can't stop this offense.
21-6, 8:41 to go. Parker nailed. Brandon Spikes got him. That's a loss of a couple.
Brandon Spikes is an oversized linebacker. He's lined up right there, and he's going to come off with a stunt and runs right through the block by Shannon Boatman. Right through the block. Puts a little movement on, and Boatman can't find him.
2nd down, 11. Weatherford, spread formation. Oh, they found a gap on the left side, and Parker bangs through it.
Boy, is he a good-looking player.
Yes. Out to the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 14 and a first down, Florida State.
He really is the best-looking player on Florida State's team. I mean, it's not even close. He plays aggressively. He plays fluidly. Just watch him take this handoff and just burst. attacks the line of scrimmage and just gashes right through, run through arm tackles and takes on the safety. He is a guy who looks like he's played running back his whole life.
And this is his second game.
Yes.
First down and 10. Weatherford deep, man open, caught at the Florida 43-yard line by Dakota Fagg, number 81.
Looks pretty obvious here that if you can't put pressure on Drew Weatherford, this Florida secondary can't hold up. And they just can't. Look at this mismatch right here. Just a complete breakdown in the coverage. Two players go up for the, I don't know, screen pass, I guess they thought it was. They leave Dakota Fagg wide open in the middle of the field.
Greg Carr breaks wide right on first down and 10. Weatherford goes for Carr. Little stutter step. And a flag, yes, he did. He got held. That was Wandy Pierre-Louis, number 4, who was defending.
That's a good end zone to throw the deep ball. Tebow did it, but, you know, it's just a 15-yard penalty here.
Right. Steve Shaw is the referee.
There were 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 41 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 4 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Florida's corners are not good enough. Florida knows it. Florida State knows it. You can see by that jersey, Wandy Pierre-Louis knows it.
And they're missing perhaps their best.
Yeah, Joe
Hayden.
He's not in for this game. And I think Florida State wouldn't have felt bad about picking on him either.
First down and 10. Weatherford lets it go, and there's a battle in the end zone. Rickerson got his arm around and knocked it free. Jaquez Richardson, as Cunningham was putting the pressure on.
Yeah, you can see the Florida State offensive line can hold up for a bit, but that push now, even inside, and that's another throw that Weatherford has made with a guy right in his face.
Second down, 10.
He doesn't turn the ball over, though, does he, much? 1 interception all year.
All year, he's 7 for 14 in this ball game for 73 yards. Left side, oh, bad pass.
All right, we're going to take you now to Lexington. They're going for 2. The game is on the line. Derek Locke scored a 2-yard touchdown, and a timeout was just taken. And we're going to take you back to Gainesville. We'll get you back when the 2-point conversion takes place. It's now 52-50 Tennessee in the 4th overtime. Vern?
Tim, thank you. I've known you a long, long time, and it's a pleasure to have you as a part of a 3-man booth.
It's working, though. It's a good game going on there.
Bet. Third down and 10. Little pass underneath. This is Dakota Fagg, and he's going to have a first down just outside the 10-yard line.
Boy, Jimbo Fisher caught him in the perfect defense that time. Actually, Florida misaligned to begin with, and then Jimbo right there showed one of his trademark plays, the wide receiver screen. He's going to get the blitz coming from the wide side of the field right there, and he throws the wide receiver breakout screen right into it. It's a perfect call.
And that's good for a first down just outside the 10. First and 10, Florida State. Parker to the 6. Flag down.
And that is a good-looking football player right there, Parker.
Before the snap, Number 89 lining up in the neutral zone on the offense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And so, 1st and 15 at the 16. Let's once again go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, the 2-point conversion coming up. And we told you about it. Antonio Reynolds, number 89, is going to make the big defensive play, sacking Woodson. So Tennessee is on its way to the SEC championship. You'll have it next week against LSU right here on CBS. All right, Vern, I think I'm done now.
Okay, Tim. You're welcome back anytime. Weatherford finds the receiver. A little inside pass again. This is Preston Parker. And congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, a lot of people had them dead on arrival. They've come back and will play LSU in the championship.
Tennessee wins it 52-50. Georgia out of the SEC championship, and we'll be with everybody in Atlanta next week, Tennessee and Louisiana State. Anton Smith is on the field now, 2nd down and 12. Gets the carry, doesn't get much. Ryan McMahon, the center, was down at the bottom of all that, trying to help him out.
Yeah, here's the story right here for Florida State right now. 5 minutes to go in the half. They've driven the ball well, but ended up with field goals. Florida has driven the ball better and ended up with touchdowns. And Florida gets the ball to start the second half. So Florida State must put 7 points on the board.
3rd and 10. Carr and Fagg both go wide to the right. Joslyn Shaw is wide left. And Smith is the running back.
Now one-on-one on the bottom of the screen right down here.
Weatherford looks that way, and he fires it behind him. Pretty good coverage.
Wasn't even close, though. It's hard to run like a stop hitch right there because the defensive back has no fear of what's behind him on the 10-yard line. You need a slant or a post corner down there. That's a tough completion.
So for the 3rd time, Sismasia will come out.
And Vern, even if it was completed, I don't think he would have scored on the play anyway.
Right. Sismasia is 2 for 2 in this ball game, 38 and 21. This is from 28 yards away. He's 3 for 3, but your point, so well taken.
It could be even touchdowns. It could be even worse than that. Tebow's going to get it now, and then they're going to get it at the beginning of the second half.
4:21 to go in the first half. We welcome all of you who are watching that thrilling Tennessee win over Kentucky, 52-50. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson with you here as Florida has scored 3 times, 2 Tim Tebow touchdown passes and a 23-yard Tim Tebow touchdown run. Florida State has moved the ball well, but they've had to settle for 3 field goals from Gary Sismasia. And there's Tebow. He opened the scoring on a 3rd down romp, 23 yards. He hit a 32-yard touchdown. And here's Tebow. Gary?
Avoiding the sack, number 1, showing what he can do well being tough, and then showing what he can do well when he runs the ball. But this is the new Tim Tebow. The way he throws the ball, you cannot throw a deep ball better than this. Perfectly thrown, and then at the end, almost a gimme because of the right read. He puts it again to Lewis Murphy. He is showing why he's a leader for the Heisman Trophy right now. He can do it all. McFadden put on a show yesterday, and Tebow isn't backing down from anybody.
Well, you see, he's 21 plays, and they've got 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
they've executed perfectly offensively. And Tebow, the sophomore, 8 of 11 throwing the ball for 114 yards, 3 rushes for 47. He has scored his 21st rushing touchdown of the year.
It's really incredible. I've run out of words, and I think most everyone else has too.
And here's a kick that will go through the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line. Florida State gets it back, but you made the point just a moment ago. They need touchdowns or getting field goals.
Yeah, Florida State's having a little problem. They can't protect well when Florida blitzes, and they're having a problem with number 15. Everybody else has too, but it's amazing to watch him grow. I mean, he started out as a fullback for Chris Leak. He'd come in to make first downs, and he's turned into a quarterback now, and he has that scary side of him when he breaks out of the pocket that nobody can handle him.
Here's Tebow. Out of the spread. Across the middle, it's caught by Cornelius Ingram, who's a bit of a hybrid tight end wide receiver.
Most people treat him as a wide receiver. The problem is he lines up very close to the line of scrimmage, and it's hard to put a corner on him. So he usually gets matched up with a strong safety or a linebacker, and frankly, they really can't handle him. He is healthy now. He had 2 touchdown passes last week, and I'm telling you, you don't want to play Florida right now. They are scary good.
Well, they've got Percy Harvin healthy again. He goes back alongside Tebow. Harvin missed the last 2 games with migraine headaches. This is Harvin. Out to the 50. It's another Florida first down. Now, once again, the SEC East standings, and our congratulations to Philip Fulmer and Tennessee as they go into 4 overtimes before defeating Kentucky. They earn the right to take on LSU. They win the tiebreaker. They thumped Georgia earlier this year. They, in turn, have been thumped by Florida and Alabama.
And Cal. But I tell you, 2 of those games, they were in the second half, and I believe if Ainge's finger had been healthy all year, they wouldn't have been thumped in those games.
Here's Tebow. Down low for the attempted catch is Harvin. It's incomplete.
Harvin is telling Urban Meyer to challenge it. He's been watching too much NFL football. He's saying he caught it, but if it is a catch, the upstairs replay official will see it. Kind of a duck of a throw, and he caught it.
You know what?
He did catch it. He was right.
He did catch it.
Absolutely. That will be reversed.
And he looked right at.
That will be reversed.
Yep.
This play is under further review.
Well, the crowd reaction was from the replay on the large screen here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Well, how about that? He was dead certain.
Guess he knows when he catches it. This was really a duck by Timmy right here, but good enough. I wish I had some of those ducks that were caught like that. He bounced it up to himself. You could see where the officials on the field thought that bounced off the ground, but it didn't.
No.
Kind of interesting, Percy Harvin with those migraines, Vern. I mean, he's been giving defensive coordinators headaches all year. I guess it's only fair. You know, I mean, he is tough to match up with because he's so fast, so elusive, handles the ball and runs the ball. I mean, he really doesn't have a weakness.
Really terribly sick with those migraines. Was on IVs for a while. Did come to the last game and watch it from the sidelines, but you can tell he's enjoying this evening. The play under review. The replay official is James Allison. Our referee is Steve Shaw.
And Florida State came into this game thinking they had to get physical with Tim Tebow. Well, they've hit him 5 times, but he has 3 touchdowns. That's a pretty good trade-off if you're Florida.
Well, if you followed this rivalry in the papers this week, Geno Hayes, number 10 of Florida State, in a press conference earlier said Tebow's going down. Put that in the paper. Tell him we're gonna shatter his dreams.
I really have no problem with Geno saying that. Really, I mean, how else can you beat Florida if you don't get Tim Tebow on the ground?
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. It was a catch. It will be second down on the 43-yard line.
Now this is danger time for Florida State because right now there was 2nd and short. This is where Tebow and Dan Mullen, their offensive coordinator, loves the play-action pass and change the scoreboard type play.
2nd and 3 at the 43.
He's got Caldwell at the bottom. He's got a running formation, but he could do anything from it.
And here comes Murphy at the bottom of the screen, and Ingram will join him.
Well, they've got some problems here. They don't know what's going on. They might have to take a timeout here.
Play clock is at 6.
That was either the best designed play or the worst designed play. I think it was the worst.
The word discombobulated comes to mind. Those tools for success.
Well, let's have a little fun with Tim Tebow here and show you why he's too tough. He's the new prototype. He is the size. SEC fans will remember David Pollock. That's how big Tebow is. He has the power in his legs. I'm not saying the speed, but he has the power and runs over you like two of the most famous ever in Walker and Bo Jackson. And he has the leadership skills of Danny Werfel, and he's got it. Whatever it is, he has that moxie to be the new prototype. Tim Tebow really has it all.
And you can't find one on every street corner.
No, that's right. You got to order those special.
Second down, Tebow out of the spread. They've got the alignment they had hoped for. Here's the fake to Keyston Moore. Tebow runs it just a little bit to the 32-yard line. That's a gain of 12.
See, and Tebow was taunting the Florida State bench after that play. He feels this Florida State defense overrun the play. He cuts back. Now watch when he gets tackled. He bounces up and he taunts the bench from Florida State as he runs back. He just goes after him. He says, I'm right here, and I'll be here all day.
Well, when he was told about what Geno Hayes had said, Tim Tebow said, well, that is the point, right?
That's
to
right.
Get me down.
Exactly.
I carry the ball a lot. Here's the fake and the little flip out in the flat. Percy Harvin goes down hard at the 28-yard line.
Now, there have been big guys that play quarterback. You know, remember Bobby Douglas?
I just
is that who?
thought about him.
Really?
Yes.
Give me another one then.
Well, Tebow already throws the ball better than Bobby Douglas.
See what I'm saying? I mean, this guy, he's 11 for 14 in this game.
Right.
I promise you, all offseason, when I was trying to be smart on all these radio shows, I said, I don't think he can complete 55% of his passes. He's up almost near 70% for the year. It's amazing what he's doing.
Second down. Harvin starts in motion. Hand off Harvin. He takes off. First down at the 13-yard line. A 14-yard gain. Percy Harvin.
And this is what this offense does because of Percy Harvin and why he's so valuable. Florida State really has this defense. There's Geno Hayes right there. Now he has this. He's defensed on the chalkboard. Well, they're not playing this game on the chalkboard because he runs right by that linebacker who just is not fast enough to make the tackle. And you can see right there why coaches say, you know, I can draw him up for you, but I still got to have guys that can tackle him.
Harvin with 8 carries for 68 yards. First down and 10 at the 14. Here's Tebow. This time he is knocked down.
Yep.
By Nefi Moffitt, number 59. Coming up, the Geico halftime report. We're going to go back to Tim Spencer and Archie Manning, and they're going to bring us up to date on all the scores and highlights, of course.
I think Tim's taking a nap. I don't think he's going to be there for halftime. He's worn out.
He's Tim Tebow. I mean, Tim Brando. Tim Tebow. Let's get back to the game.
They remind me of each other.
No. Oh, that looked pretty. Steve Shaw will sort this one out.
And again, it's a must stop for Florida State. You know, if they give up a touchdown here, Florida gets the ball to start the second half.
Before the snap, false start, number 73 and number 77 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
I mean, Florida could blow this game open right here at the end of the half and the beginning of the second half, and it basically, I don't know if Florida State could catch up.
They've had the ball now 4 times. They scored on the first 3. Second down and 14 with a 21-9 lead in the final 35 seconds.
Got another bad formation here.
Yeah, so they'll use their final timeout. CBS Sports coverage of Home Depot SEC continues after this word from your local station. This year we join the SEC in celebrating 75 years of football in the Southeastern Conference. A championship game First held in 1992. Alabama defeated the Gators in that one. Florida has been in the game 6 times. LSU will make their 4th championship game appearance. And Tennessee is in the event for the 5th time. It's Tennessee and LSU next Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern time. 35 seconds to go in this one, 21-9, 2nd and 14. Tebow fires it. Oh, dangerously close to being picked off. Roger Williams, number 8, was about to step in front and make a grab in front of Cornelius Ingram.
Yeah, that was pretty good protection by that Florida offensive line that time, but equal protection for the secondary for Florida State. See how many guys they bring. They line up 5 in the rushing position, but they only bring 3. They have a spy in the middle, and that's really what caused the problems for that pass panic. 8 people dropping, and Tim could not find anybody.
Caldwell goes to the left side. One of the few seniors on this Florida team, offensively or defensively. Here's Tebow, tucks it, now fires it deep, and that's incomplete. That's the first time that the Gators have not scored a touchdown tonight. So on 4th and 14, we're going to see Joey Eos, another of the seniors. Only 14 seniors, Gary, on this team, and only 5 really are regular contributors to this team.
2 on offense and 3 on defense. And, you know, with Phil Troutline coming back next year, a starter who was hurt all year, that's a starter coming back to replace one of them.
Eos from 35 yards out, perfect. Adds to the Gator lead with 18 seconds to go. Bobby Bowden's team trails 24-9. As you look at this, you get the sense that Florida State has not been able to find a defensive answer.
Not even close. It's been a total mismatch. It's almost like watching Florida play against FIU. I mean, they just have no answer for Tebow as he's improved. He's run for, 60 yards?
Yes.
He's completed 2 out of 3 passes, 2 touchdowns. He's put on a show that, you know, he's just getting better and better every week.
18 seconds to go before the break, 24-9. Joey Eos, a senior from Clearwater, Florida, will kick it. Michael Ray Garvin and Joslyn Shaw are the 2 deep men for the Seminoles. This will be very short. Oh, it's a muff. And a scramble for the ball at the 36-yard line.
It was good strategy by Florida. The only thing that hurt them this late would be a kickoff return, and they pooched it real high.
Sean Compton recovered it. Florida State has the ball with 12 seconds to go in the half. 12 seconds to go before the halftime break. Florida State now down 24-9. And Drew Weatherford for the evening is 9 of 17 for 88 yards. He's now completed 207 passes, attempted rather, without an interception. And there's another one added to the list. Catches made by Rod Owens, number 86.
It is fun to watch a guy grow up as a player. I had Drew in his very first game that he played against Miami, and he just had a tough night that night. I didn't know if he'd ever turn himself into a big league quarterback, but he has. He's worked hard. He's improved his accuracy. His footwork's much better. And, you know, tonight, so far, he's not been able to get it off the mark against Florida, but he's improved.
Preston Parker is in at tailback. He started in that position tonight, second time in as many games. Here's the pass from Weatherford. 41-yard line. The catch made by Owens again, his second. 1 second to go.
And this allows now Florida State to throw a jump ball to the end zone, and then you got to think about Greg Carr.
At 6'6".
Yes. Now, if I'm Florida, I look to see if I got a wide receiver back there because they're very small in the secondary.
Now, Wandy Louis-Pierre is 6'1".
Maybe.
Yes. Generously listed as such.
I'd wondered if they might, you know, if they have a play of a defense where Lewis Murphy could go back there, or Riley Cooper, number 86, who play, you know, center fielder in baseball, put one of those guys back there to knock this ball down for Florida. Are they going to try a field goal? They are.
I think they are. Sismazia is on the field. Weatherford's on the bench.
Be a
60-yarder.
60-yarder.
Longest in his career for Sismazia is 54. He kicked that last year against Rice.
I wonder why Florida doesn't put a returner back. Remember how you can return field goals? They don't
Absolutely.
have big men out there for Florida State.
Gary Sismazia, the senior, from 60. Line drive kick. Yes!
Wow!
Yes!
Bobby's even laughing at that one. How ironic, all those field goals that he couldn't make to win games, and you get a 60-yarder at the end of half.
Oh, boy. Ha! From 60 yards away, Sismazia, perfect.
And it was a line drive.
Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville, site of tonight's encounter between Florida State and the Florida Gators, 24-12, as we get set for the start of the second half. Experience SEC college football on CBS, brought to you in high definition by Sony. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson with you. And the Florida State Seminoles, Gary Sismazia, longest in the NCAA this season, longest in ACC history, obviously longest for Florida State, previous best. Janikowski had one of 56 yards.
And that wry smile by Bobby after that kick really said volumes about his, I don't know, bout with kickers over the year.
Well, wide left or wide right, take your pick.
Gee.
Yeah, it crossed my mind. Graham Gano will kick off as Florida opens the third quarter with possession of the football. Brandon James is deep. Here's Gano's kick, and this will be returned by James from the 7-yard line. Watch out. Watch out, flag. This one's going to come back. Touchdown, but the play will come back.
Boy, two officials threw their flag almost simultaneously, so they saw the same block from behind or push or whatever they saw. Boy, is he a bullet through there?
Something. Missed the last game because of a suspension.
I want to know, if you got a kicker that can kick a 60-yard field goal, why isn't he kicking off?
Kickers.
During the return, holding number 22 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st and 10.
Well, that's Cade Holliday, a wide receiver, who caused the negation of this kickoff return for a touchdown by Brandon James.
Well, I didn't really see it. It happened pretty quick, but well, he squirted through there and he was gone, all in a matter of half a second. Yeah, I think it was 20. Dorian Monroe that really he grabbed the jersey right there. Wasn't it 20?
I think you're right.
Yes. Good
Well, the
catch.
anguish by Brandon James.
Good catch by somebody in the truck right there.
Yes.
I didn't see it.
On first down, the handoff. Well, if they don't get you on the kickoff return, they'll get you on the first down run by Percy Harvin as he scoots forward for a gain that gives Florida another first down and 10. The immediate problem for Florida State, of course, is they haven't been able to stop Florida at all night.
Well, with a healthy Tebow and his newfound accuracy in throwing the football and a healthy Harvin, I don't know if there's many colleges that can stop this offense right now. It looks if Florida doesn't stop themselves, they can't be stopped. I mean, if Florida State doesn't have the athletes to match up with Florida, who does?
Right. First down and 10. Here's Tebow. He's still got it. And he's close for another first down as Myron Roll. Just a moment ago, Tracy Wolfson chatted with Bobby Bowden.
Coach, a big field goal to end the half, but how do you turn those field goals into touchdowns?
Well, that's what we'll have to do if we're going to win the game. Our biggest problem is stopping them. You know what? It goes back to poor tackling. We couldn't tackle them.
But offensively, how do you get into the end zone and put up 7?
Well, we gotta score in the red zone. We haven't done it.
How hard is it to contain Tim Tebow?
Tell me how to do it, we'll do it, okay? No, that's the key.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Tracy, there's your opportunity.
You know, I just get the feeling that Bobby Bowden's going, wait a second, I had like 10 years of Spurrier, now I get 4 years of Tebow? This is just not right.
That was a first down run. Here's Tebow, the handoff. Up the middle she goes. Keyston Moore comes left, gets a block from Murphy downfield. First down at the 36.
Keyston Moore popped through that. He's learned to be a north-south rusher, and he showed you when he does it right, how valuable he is. I still remember Keyston Moore on probably the biggest fumble in maybe college football this year. When Moore fumbled against LSU, Florida was in complete control of that football game at the end of the third quarter, and from there on, LSU came back and won that football game.
That was a 20-yard gain. 3 plays, 3 first downs for the Gators to open the third quarter. Rutledge is in at the fullback spot. He's in a wing to the right. Here's Harvin up the middle.
Wow. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator for Florida State, has been there for 20-plus years. And I asked him on the phone call, Vern, if you reach back in your bag of tricks and your history and your experience of coaching, what do you grab to try to stop these guys? And he said, frankly, I don't really have a handle on it. They run the triple option from shotgun. And they have a quarterback that basically can throw the ball as well as any quarterback in college football. If you don't tackle well in space, you don't have a chance. And right now, they can't tackle these Florida athletes in space.
4 plays, 4 first downs. And here's Tebow with the option, the pitch to Harvin. He gets a downfield block from his wide receiver. He is inside the 10 and down at the 5.
I mean, just think about this offense. They've got a quarterback that can throw the ball. They've got receivers that can go long. And they've basically been running the triple option out of shotgun on the first 5 plays of this second half. And it's worked every time. Tebow, option, Harvin, and now a brilliant athlete gets the ball in space. It's like watching Oklahoma and Joe Washington and those guys back 30 years ago.
Steve Davis is the quarterback of that team. They went 34-1-1.
And he just moved Tebow back or Steve Davis back 4 yards, and it's almost the same thing, but they got a passing attack.
Here's Tebow.
Look at that.
I know Steve Davis, and Tim Tebow is no Steve Davis.
It's amazing, isn't it?
He is something.
I mean, that's his 50th touchdown this year. Between rushing and passing, this is uncharted water. That's more touchdowns than any quarterback has produced that's won the Heisman ever, ladies and gentlemen.
22nd rushing touchdown this season. Chance Harridge of Air Force in 2002, the old record. Ever. More touchdowns produced by this quarterback than any Heisman Trophy quarterback ever. While we were away, Tim Tebow showing a little leadership on the sideline.
He's got it all. We showed that thing, and part of it was tongue-in-cheek. I know he's not Bo Jackson, but look at those stats. They're all in the favor of Florida. The only time of possession the other way is because Florida scores fast.
5-yard touchdown run by Tebow. He's thrown for 2 and rushed for 2 tonight.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And he teaches Sunday school.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness.
The ball fell off the tee, I believe.
Yes, it did. A whiff. That is the first thing that has gone south on Florida tonight. Joey Eos, nice story. Field goal kicker for the first time this year, and he was put on scholarship. Remember the story back in August, 2 days? Urban Meyer said to him as they wound up practice, he was kicking one for 52. If you make it, you're on scholarship. And he made it. And his teammates went crazy. Now, Urban had already decided he was going to give him a scholarship, but what the heck. This one near the sidelines, muffed, out of bounds. At the 11. Well, how many great running backs have won the Heisman? It's a long, long list. And Ron Dane, Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, Reggie Bush, and Archie Griffin, just to name a few.
Those are running backs, and we left a blank at the bottom for a reason. These guys all won the Heisman Trophy, and Tim Tebow has more rushing touchdowns than any of those guys. Is that amazing?
It is.
And he throws pretty well, too, and he leads pretty well. And he's the quarterback you'd most want your daughter to marry, too, on top of that. Isn't it?
First down and 10. Florida State. Weatherford had a nice game so far. He's got a man. Oh,
man.
Had a man. He needed a little more arch on it, but it was a tough throw. Brandon Spikes getting back in coverage.
And that's the value of a Brandon Spikes when they play that too deep coverage of having a tall middle linebacker. Now, I know he's not, but like a Brian Urlacher for the Bears, that's why he's tough, because when you try to loop it over number 51, it's hard to loop it because if you go any higher, Major Wright, number 21, will come and eat it up. So there's not much space there, and a tall linebacker can make that play.
Second down and 10. Weatherford flips it out. He's got a man, and he's got a block. That's Joslin Shaw. Well, that didn't work very well. Jaquez Rickerson, who's getting the starting cornerback tonight, makes the tackle, number 23.
Now, we're watching Florida State. They've moved the ball okay. They've had some problems that we talked about with protection when Florida blitzed. And I've been in these things before as a quarterback. When you play against a Marino or Montana, you pressure yourself because you think I got to score every time, and you end up making mistakes trying to do too much.
Drew Weatherford telling us earlier in this week that when he was benched, it was a blue period, but he vowed if he ever got the chance, he was going to come back. He was so hard on himself that he wanted to relax, and he has done just that. But he's under some pressure tonight, and that one's incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
And out comes number 25.
Justin Tratto is leading the cheers as he heads to the bench.
I can tell you, either Florida, in my mind, or USC is going to be preseason number 1 next year.
Right.
They both have an argument. Oklahoma's going to be close, I understand, but it's hard for me to imagine somebody being much better prepared for next year than Florida right now.
Well, if you want to get these guys,
yes,
this was the year.
This was the year to get them.
And they were gotten by Auburn here. They lost in a thrilling game at Louisiana State by 4, and then they were soundly whipped by Georgia 3 weeks back. And this punt will roll to a stop at the 32. And not to make any excuses for this Gator team, but that was the game in which Tim Tebow was favoring an injured right shoulder. Time called. Right back. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Wrangler, Coke Zero, Chick-fil-A, and by Allstate. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, more than 90,000 on hand, and they have, most of them Gator fans, certainly enjoyed the Gator offensive show tonight. 5 possessions, 5 scores.
He's going to take a snap under. No, he's going to run out, let somebody else do it.
Of course, he's a wide receiver now. And look who it is. It's Harvin, and this will come back. There's a flag over in the far hash mark. Harvin keeps moving, energizes the crowd, but I think we're going to have a penalty against Florida.
See, even when Florida makes a mistake, they get juice because of the way Harvin finished off that play right there.
Here's Steve Shaw.
Holding, number 63 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
That is Jim Tart, the left guard. And it's time now for the trivia question of the night. Duck exit. Who are the only quarterbacks to win the Heisman Trophy with 3 or more losses? Okay.
I think I can.
You think so?
Can I say it yet?
No,
Early? Just
no.
Why?
Keep it in
We're
your
going to lose
pocket.
the sponsor or something? They've been with us 15 years.
You can't blow the question in 30 seconds. It's drama. First down. 31-12 is the score. Tebow rifles it on a line. It's up to the 36-yard line. Cornelius Ingram, that's a 14-yard gain. And that's the first pass of the third quarter for Tim Tebow.
You have a chance to get Tebow. You better get him early. Look at this. Ingram. It's a basic dig route from a different formation. Dig means one receiver goes across the field at 10 to 12 yards. The next receiver goes across the field at 12 to 15 yards. It's been in as long as there was football, that dig route.
Second down and 5. Little pressure, but the pass complete. That'll be another first down. Now let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, T.C. Ostrander threw a touchdown tying pass that would have sent the game into overtime, but the receiver dropped it. Then he fires to Richard Sherman on the final opportunity. Notre Dame wins it 21-14. They end up 3-9, 2-1 in the Pac-10. Back to you.
It's not good news for the Pac-10.
No, that is not good news. And Oregon losing the last report we had to UCLA, which, like we said last night, you wouldn't want to play Southern Cal right now, just like you don't want to play Florida. How about this one? That's a one-hopper.
Yeah, he had Lewis Orr wide open, 2 for a touchdown. He had a guy going right down the middle. You know, the Florida State players on defense now are looking over to their coach and going, what should we do? We have no idea what the offense to stop. They came out last time and ran the triple option. Now they've come out and run the Hawaii offense with receivers all over the field. And that's the problem. You got to get lined up. You got to tackle a tough quarterback, and then you got to cover these receivers who are very skilled. It's a tough chore. The only way to do it is to cut the head off the snake. And that's the snake right there.
Oh, boy. Second down and 10. Quarterback draw. This one not as effective. It'll be third down and 8. Tackle made by Paul Griffin, number 54. Well, Tebow has run 8 times for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he's also been very effective through the air, 12 of 18 for 160. Griffin out, 3rd and 8.
I think you got to come after him. They
Do
ran
you?
that one. Remember, they ran that one defense where they only rushed 3. Either rush very few or a whole lot. Nothing in between.
3 down right here. The 2 backers come up on the line.
It's very few.
Yeah. And Tebow, given time, finds his receiver. It's Harvin, and it's Ingram rather, 7 instead of 1. And it will be a first down at the 42-yard line. That's a 13-yard gain.
And he just stood in the pocket, looked like he was pitching baseball again, like when he was young. I mean, he gets into the pocket. You're only rushing 3. You got plenty of time to just kind of survey this field. You have to have a spy player right in the middle of the formation. So basically, you're playing 11 against 10 because the spy guy's waiting for you to scramble. And if you don't scramble, you're worthless as a spy.
4 down for Florida State now. Harvin has it. Ankle tackle, or he was loose for a long way. Dakota Watson, number 36.
Yesterday, when we did our game with Darren McFadden, as we watch another one of these plays that looked just like the Wild Hog formation, didn't it? This is what they were doing with McFadden and Felix Jones. This is Tebow and Percy Harvin. It's the same offense, but Tebow's a better passer. He isn't a home run runner, but he's a pretty good runner. So I'm going to call this their Hog Wild formation, and nobody can stop it. It's like a Harley out there.
Second down and short. After the 8-yard gain. Play fake. Tebow in trouble. Sacked.
That's their only chance.
Yep. Remember the one loss against Georgia that he was sacked 6 times in that game.
And he had Riley Cooper wide open for a touchdown. If they didn't get him, Riley Cooper had his man beat to the outside for an easy touchdown. Tony Carter was at least 4 yards behind on the play.
By the way, referencing the Arkansas victory last night, 50-48, they ran that Wild Hog formation 33 out of 70 plays.
There it is. Pressure on Tebow. The only way to get him, coming free from the outside. Little bounce off that time. Jim Tart could not get out there and pick up the free rusher. That was a mess up for Florida.
That was the first sack of the night for Florida
Timeout.
State.
They're going to call timeout. Florida State misaligned.
6:41 to go in the third. 31-12. Thus far, Gators are cruising. Well, at the risk of being found guilty of piling on, it's time now for Red Lobster's Scholar Athlete Award. Guess whom? 3.77 grade point average, a major in family, youth, and community service. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown tonight by donating $1,000 to the University of Florida's General Scholarship Fund. Third down, Florida 5 of 6 on third down conversions. Here's Tebow across the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. And
tip ball. They'll throw the flag away on this one.
I think so.
Pick it up
Yeah.
would probably be a better way to say it.
There was no foul on the play. The ball was tipped. It will be 4th down.
So that's how you do it. Remember we said cut the head off the snake? A sack and a tip ball. That's really the way you have to do it. That's how you do it in the NFL. When you got a quarterback, the only way to slow these guys down now is by going at the quarterback. Now, it's part of the field right here where you could expect anything from Florida. Oh, there's a flag down on the play here.
another one over on the far side.
Yeah, it might be an it's probably a get back warning here.
Sideline warning, Florida State. That's their first warning.
Get the get back coach involved.
Yep. Get back warning. See if Florida State plays safe here, because this will be a spot on the field where you could fake it.
First punt of the night. This is Chaz Henry. Sends it high. Good coverage downfield. There's Bubba Caldwell. Lewis Murphy. I thought it was Caldwell. It's number 9. And Murphy perches under it. Nice play. Chaz Henry. Yeah, that was all right. .6:31 to go in the third. Back in Gainesville, Florida State with a first down at their own 2-yard line. Weatherford. Play fake. Goes deep right side. There's the jump ball and good coverage downfield by Jaquez Rickerson. Greg Carr, the intended receiver. Well, the BCS standings week of November 18th. LSU on top. It was all there for them.
Yeah, LSU fans, please hide your eyes, okay? Because you know exactly what's going to happen. And Kansas playing Missouri tonight, one of them are going to disappear. So West Virginia and Ohio State will be 2 and 3. And remember, the winner of the Kansas-Missouri game still has to play Oklahoma.
Second down and 10. Quick setup, Weatherford, nice play.
Nice play, yes.
To Cody Fagg. That's a first down out to the 15-yard line.
Vernon, in one of your other sports, golf,
Yes.
Ohio State's in the clubhouse right now, and they're waiting for the field to come back to them, aren't they?
And they posted about a 68.
Yeah, that's not bad.
67.
And the wind is whipping out there. They feel like they got a chance.
And they've still got to play 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah,
the other
there
guys
you go.
do.
See, I watch.
Glad you do. First down and 10. Under pressure, the pass is complete out of the flat to Preston Parker. And he is double teamed and knocked out of bounds just beyond the 20-yard line. Tony Joyner, number 19.
Let's give some credit to Drew Weatherford here. He's the other quarterback in this football game, but he's going to be the guy that has to lead Florida State next year. Watch how long he waits on this play to throw it. It's going to be spikes coming in free. He throws it just as he gets hit, puts it right on target, and gets a helmet right under the chin. Believe me, in the tapes, your teammates will notice that.
Drew Weatherford grew up a Florida State fan. Bobby Bowden telling us earlier this week that, yes, he contacted Tim Tebow, made a phone call, but he said, we had Drew Weatherford, and so we didn't really have a spot. Anton Smith with that carry. Well, let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
All right, fellas, a Heisman-like day coming up a little short, though. Andre Woodson, who was once one of the front runners, he had 6 touchdown passes in a 4 overtime loss to Tennessee, 36 touchdown passes on the season. Other candidates with nice games today: Matt Ryan for BC, West Virginia's Pat White, who can pad his stats again next week. But fellas, I've got a ballot, and right now number 1 on that ballot is Superman Tim Tebow.
Oh, so anointed by Tim to Tim. Weatherford deep, caught. Parker, first down out to the 33-yard line.
Boy, Weatherford's tough. He got sandwiched on that one from behind by Harvey, and in front, boy, and he let it go. And Parker shows you why he's a special football player, going up and getting it. This is two quarterbacks. This is the too good to be true bowl. 2 quarterbacks that are too good to be true off the field and pretty good on the field, aren't they, Vern?
Yeah.
Watch him get sandwiched by Harvey and Trottel right there, and he delivers it right on target again.
Now, we've mentioned before when we've done Florida State games, his granddad was in the backfield with Doak Walker at SMU. His dad played football at SMU, but they moved to Florida, and Drew Weatherford grew up wanting to be a Seminole. Here's the pass behind to Cody Fagg and incomplete. So it'll be second down. Matter of fact, he told us earlier, I'm exactly in the position now that I dreamed about when I was 8 years old, quarterbacking Florida State. Well, there's his granddad, Bill Weatherford, running back 46, 48, 49. Part of the team that helped Doak Walker win the Heisman as a junior. Second down and 10. There's the handoff, or rather the Weatherford keeper, and he's out to the 37-yard line. 4:26 to go. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Been watching Tony Joyner out there just kind of direct this defense. He's been moving those young defensive backs around, making sure they're in the right technique. And Tony has lived through a little bit this year, and I think survived it pretty well. And got a nice send-off today, senior day. We watched it, and it was pretty nice watching this guy finish out his career here.
Was the co-captain, had that honor taken away from him by Urban Meyer because of a early morning confrontation in a garage parking lot. But Tony Joyner acknowledged very warmly by the fans prior to the game. Senior day here in Gainesville. Drew Miller, one of the first to be introduced about 4:30 this afternoon. Andre Caldwell, now the career receiving leader. And Tony Joyner, we mentioned he had his captaincy taken away from him. It was restored today by Urban Meyer. And then 4 of the 5 seniors, captains for tonight, walk out for the coin toss. Joyner is also Tim Tebow's roommate. 3rd down, 8. Weatherford in jail, but he finds Dakota Fagg, and Tony Joyner is there to make the tackle. It will be 4th down.
Yeah, and now you got to wonder, with the score being the way it is, whether Florida State says we have to make a stand here and go for it on 4th down. What will they do? Are they going to punt it? Still plenty of time to go. They will.
Yes, they are.
Pressure on Weatherford. He delivers it, and Jimbo Fisher's saying, you waited too long, you had somebody else, I guess. And he says it loudly, doesn't he?
Yeah, Drew said he's going to scream and yell, as he does. And he says,
take it.
Part of my job is to tune him out.
Yep.
Absorb what he says and get on. Here's the punt by Gano. And just as a footnote, Drew Weatherford has now set a Florida State record. He has thrown 225 passes since his only interception
and that was
season.
Against Middle Tennessee. He's gone all year with 1 interception. I mean, you know, there's just no one in college football doing what he's doing interception-wise.
Time now to answer the trivia question. Only quarterbacks to win the Heisman. I'm gonna see if you got all 3.
I only got 2.
Okay.
Plunkett and Flutie.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Plunkett, you got 1 out of 3.
Plunkett. Oh.
Remember, Paul Hornung was a quarterback.
Yeah,
at
that's
Notre
right.
Dame. Yep. And Ty Detmer.
Wow.
Now you see, you thought.
Well, I remember Ty Detmer. I thought Flutie was in that grouping right there too, though.
I remember Hornung.
Yes, okay, so do I.
There's Paul Hornung. Look at the record. Notre Dame 2-8 when he won it. Jim Plunkett 9-3 in 1970, and Ty Detmer at Brigham Young 10-3 mark in 1990. And of course, the relevance there is Tim Tebow's quest to not only become the first sophomore to win it, but
well, I think we should forget those years in college right now. It means meaningless nowadays. People play their first year. It doesn't matter what year you are anymore.
Here's the pass. Well, remember the philosophy for the longest time, and that one is complete, was, well, let's not give it to a sophomore because his turn will come when he's a junior or a senior. And that's to your point.
Yeah, I think it's meaningless nowadays. Guys turn pro early, and guys start early. So why don't we just recognize what they do?
And you can talk to these Florida fans about a bid by a sophomore. Rex Grossman finished 2nd to Eric Crouch.
Well, it's pretty much cleared up to a 4-man race in my mind.
Yep. Brandon James in the backfield, and a guy named McFadden put himself right in the thick of it last night. Rush coming. Pass complete to Caldwell for the first down on 3rd down. Out at the 36-yard line.
See, this is what Tim has learned to do that he didn't do against Georgia. He felt the pressure, and he just faded backwards and bought time. Kind of like Brett Favre. Watch, as the pressure comes, Tim will just back off. He knows he's got an unblocked guy, 2 unblocked guys. He throws off his back foot and puts it there. Buy time, throw off your back foot and make the play. That's how you defeat the blitz. He did not do that against Georgia, and he suffered 6 sacks.
1st down and 10. Harvin back alongside Tebow. Harvin shakes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage and gets out to the 43-yard line. Let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim.
Vern, after Clemson went up 10-0, South Carolina answered on this Blake Mitchell 19-yard pass to Kenny McKinley to make it a 10-7 game. The old ball coach trying to sneak one out against Clemson. 10-7 right now. Tommy Bowden's club has the lead.
All right. Steve Spurrier, one of the 7 Florida coaches who coached in this rivalry game against Bobby Bowden. They asked him the other night if he could name everybody who had been a coach on the sidelines. And when he got to a certain old ball coach, he said, Steve who? Who?
Well, those 2 guys have made this a great battle between Florida and Florida State. It was the premier battle in college football for about 10 years in the 90s. Michigan and Ohio State, I think, had it in the 70s. Texas and Oklahoma and Nebraska, remember, had it for a while. but now it's kind of spread around the country, and Florida looks like they're there. Florida State is not there yet.
Jeremy Foley, the athletic director. There's Bob and Pam Tebow in the middle, evangelical missionary, and Tim Tebow, born in the Philippines. By the way, he's got a sister who was a missionary in Bangladesh, made the trip over there. Here's Tebow for the first down. She and her husband left about a month ago for Bangladesh to serve a 3-year stint as missionaries, and asked if they were affected by the recent cyclone. He said no, that his mom and dad had talked to her and they were safe. First down and 10 on that Tebow run. Final 10 seconds, quarter number 3. That's the end of the third quarter. The score 31-12. Florida will return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium right after this word from your local station. At the end of the third quarter here in Gainesville, they gather and sing "We Are the Boys." Looks like the Tebow family has learned all the words. Don't forget the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler coming up before we leave the air. Tim Tebow has helped the Florida Gators to 412 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters. There's problems. There is a problem, and Harvin avoids the first tackle, but still loses yardage. Nevertheless, this has been an all Florida night so far.
Really has. I'm a little surprised, I have to say. I figured Florida State could figure out a way to put pressure on Tim and force him out of doing some things he didn't want to do, but so far they haven't been able to do it. I think early, when they didn't get that early sack and that scramble on 3rd and long, it kind of set the tone of the game, and Florida just blown it up. Well,
31-12 as we get set for the final quarter here in Gainesville. Second down and 20 after the loss. Tebow back, a lot of time. Fires it out to Brandon James on the right side. Out to the 42-yard line before he is stopped.
Now remember this Florida State defense. I mean, you know, what did Colorado put on Nebraska? 65 points?
Yes, they did.
They got 6, I think, against this Florida State defense. They took the Heisman Trophy away from Matt Ryan, and they bottled up the Alabama offense when Alabama had an offense.
Good point.
And tonight they look just like they just look like an average, middle of the pack football team on defense.
Now remember, they went up to Boston College and knocked off the Eagles. And tonight they trail 31-12 as we're underway here in the fourth quarter. Tebow deep, incomplete. Cornelius Ingram was the intended receiver.
Yeah, that whole series stopped at first down when Florida State penetrated and got Harvin on that counter play that they tried to run on first down. That's the only way you can stop them. Pressure the quarterback or have them lose yards on a play so they get out of sync.
Second punt of the night. Chaz Henry is on 4th and 15. And Preston Parker, number 5. This was a line drive punt. Will bounce and take a Gator roll. Oh my.
It's the second one inside the 5.
"54-yard punt, about half of that on the roll.
And now it's time for our Geico scoring recap.
Sismagia put Florida State on top on the first drive of the game, 21-yard field goal. Then Tebow avoided a sack, rumbled 23 yards for his first touchdown run tonight, 7-3 Florida on top. Lewis Murphy on the receiving end of a Tebow pass, 32 yards, it was 14-3. And then Sismagia from 38 yards gives Florida State its 6th point of the ball game. Lewis Murphy, 14-yard reception from Tim Tebow to make it 21-6, and just before halftime, a 60-yard field goal. That was from 28 to set up the 60-yard field goal Well, I'm going to get there. Too many field goals. Eos from 30. Here it is.
60-yarder.
Oh, I knew it was coming. 60-yard field goal to make it 24-12. And then Tim Tebow, 5-yard touchdown run, 31-12. We have run out of field goals. Florida State takes over at their 3-yard line.
Well, it's been same old story for Florida State in this game. The last 3 losses, they haven't scored more than 14 points. They're at 12 right now. The last 4 times they've won against Florida, they scored 30-plus points. You can see they have not scored enough points.
Parker all the way out to the 17, 18-yard line. Major Wright makes the tackle. That's a quick gain of 15.
Special football player. I really, when I watch the tape of Florida State, I see improvement. When you talk to Jimbo Fisher, he sees it. Bobby Bowden said he sees it. He doesn't know if it can translate yet against this defense, this team, but he sees the improvement.
First down and 10. Parker in the backfield. Weatherford incomplete. And for more on Preston Parker, here's Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, Parker actually grew up a diehard Miami Hurricanes fan, but when it came time to making his decision at a press conference, he threw up 2 hats, Miami and Florida State, and for some reason he said he grabbed the Seminole hat and put it on his head. He said he was shocked. He shocked everyone. He shocked himself. He didn't know what got into him, but he's happy with his decision.
Those involuntary responses will get you in trouble. Second down, 10.
Well, it worked out pretty well for him.
Didn't it? Weatherford, screen pass. Little inside screen to Cody Fagg, number 81. That'll set up 3rd down and 4.
Really is amazing what Drew Weatherford is doing and being able to not turn the football over. You know, of the top 100 throwers in college football, none of them have thrown fewer than 3 interceptions. Drew Weatherford has thrown 1 on the year.
And that was a long time ago. Tonight, 30 passes. So he's at 227 without an interception. 227 in succession. Here's Weatherford running for the first down out to the 30-yard line. Brandon Spikes, number 51, with the tackle. ACC record. He's chasing a record that was established earlier this year by Andre Woodson of Kentucky that overlapped last season. Holding, that's going to wipe that run out.
Holding, number 5 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. We'll repeat 3rd down.
Ball placed at the 20.
So the holding happened downfield. They took it from the end of the run, so now you have 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, something like that.
3rd and 9. From the outside, blitz coming. Weatherford sacked. 4th down. Jermaine Cunningham, who was encouraging a little crowd participation prior to the snap.
This blitz package has been used by Florida all year. At the last second, they send the weak side corner coming from the bottom of the screen right here, and the safeties all rotate out of it like that. Now watch this. Right at the snap, the safeties are moving. They don't pick it up right, and it's been used in the first game against Tennessee and all the way till the last game here against Florida State. Should be ready for it.
Graham Gano will punt. Brandon James, who has an 83-yarder for a touchdown off of a punt return, is looking for running room here. Doesn't find it.
Yeah, and a couple flags, too.
He had a kickoff return wiped out by a penalty earlier in the game.
Anytime you reverse your field, you get the guys blocking for you, holding, because the person they're trying to block changes direction, and that's what happens sometimes. Tebow's going to go deep here. Real quick, I promise you.
Listen.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 2 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the return. 1st and 10.
After the game you called yesterday, if you tell me he's going deep, I'm going to perch and get a seat in the end zone.
Start looking downfield.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, the new AT&T, Ruby Tuesday, and by Toyota. Tonight on CBS, we'll begin with CSI Miami, followed by CSI New York, and then 48 Hours Mystery. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Gainesville. 52nd meeting between Florida and Florida State. We're early in the 4th quarter, and it has been all Gators so far. That one caught short. That's a modest gain of a couple of yards. Lewis Murphy, and he's nailed by Geno Hayes, number 10.
Now, Florida State was sitting back very deep in their zone this time. 2 deep safeties. Geno Hayes follows one crossing guy, and then he gets the next crossing guy sitting in the zone. That worked very well. Now, how do you counter that? Do you come back to that option offense? We will see.
2nd down, 8. 31-12. Tebow, you see, 192 yards throwing the football. He's also rushed for 77 tonight. Brandon James along his side. James has it. Slips a tackle. 1st down at the 45-yard line.
See, the counter to the zone, the deep zone defense, when they drop everybody, is to run the wishbone plays, basically, from shotgun. So you're going to play me 8 deep. We're going to line up wide, bring a guy in motion, and we're basically going to run the wishbone. Hand off. They don't even block the end guy on the line of scrimmage over here, and they run the ball. Now, watch this tight formation. I'm telling you, this is where they like to go deep to Lewis Orr. He's at the bottom of the screen.
Lewis Murphy wide right. 1st down. Here comes the option near side. Ooh, Tebow took a pretty good hit up high. Guion. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, LaTroy Guion that time didn't overrun it that time, did he?
No.
That's probably the hardest hit Tebow's taken in this football game.
We were talking about that the bruised right shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder. He said he's not going to have full range of motion back in that shoulder until the offseason when he gets complete rest. 2nd down and 10. Harbin. So many weapons. And Harbin, who's over 100 yards rushing now, he's up to 132.
Same formula. Dan Mullen sees the look. See, he sees these 2 safeties deep. He sees 5 across right here, and he says, all right, you want to do that against me? I'm going to run inside. I'm going to run our type of veer offense. And when you move a safety up, that's when I'm going to run my play action pass and throw the ball downfield. It's really not that difficult to call. It might be difficult to execute.
Execute's a different matter. Yes, yeah.
Well, they're moved up now.
Right. And here comes the blitz.
And here comes the deep ball.
And there it is. Andre Caldwell, touchdown. There's a flag down.
Yeah, they've called a 15-yard penalty for unfair offense. You got too many weapons.
You know, you and I are going to do these broadcasts long enough to see Urban Meyer smile someday.
That's right. That was pretty easy, though. I mean, you knew they were going to go deep. It was just a matter of time till the look got there. You could see the look, and Dan Mullen's been calling these plays long enough to know when to pull the trigger, but it was coming. You knew it was coming.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 5 on the offense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Hey, on senior day, I think you let it ride.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't even think Urban can get upset on that one. Look at Tebow. He's popping all over the sideline.
Extra point coming now. Tebow throws another. Andre Caldwell, the all-time leading receiver in the history of this university's football program. He exceeded the mark held for 39 years by Carlos Alvarez. And Tim Tebow throws another. It's 38-12. $8:20 to go here. 38-12. Florida leads it. And they will kick off after the celebration penalty. The ball moved back to the 15-yard line. Preston Parker, Joslyn Shaw are the deep men. This one comes near side, taken at the 24-yard line by Joslyn Shaw, number 80. Out to the 45-yard line. And now it's time for the playbook presented by the Hartford.
Well, it's pretty simple. Dan Mullen was just waiting, offensive coordinator, for these safeties right here to move up and show that he had man-to-man coverage. You just call the play-action pass, and down at the bottom of the screen right there, you got one-on-one coverage. And watch another perfectly thrown ball by Tim Tebow to Caldwell. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 51 touchdowns for the year. 29 in the air, 22 on the ground. Caldwell, the all-time leading receiver, and 68% completions for the year for Tebow.
Weatherford, nice catch at the 49-yard line. Rod Owens, number 86, goes down to make the grab. Say that again. How many?
51. 50.
Gino Hayes had said Tebow's going down. Write that, y'all.
Yeah.
And it was written, and Tim Tebow kind of sardonically said, well, that is the point.
Yeah,
I carry the ball a lot.
That's right. Got to tackle me.
It's okay by me. Second down and 5.
Turning into an unbelievable passer now, too, though.
Rod Owens inside. Nice play. And that's a first down, Florida State to the 31. Well, Tebow ties the NCAA record for a quarterback. Says Mazie has 60-yard field goal. That's an ACC record as well as an FSU record. And Weatherford's total is now up to 229 without an interception.
Let's give a little salute to Rod Owens. You know, he had that bad injury last year in 2006. Comes out there and shows that he's getting a little healthy. Hadn't played a lot this year.
On first down, here's Weatherford. Rolling right.
Watch out.
Oh, the record just about went south. Tony Joyner with 2 hands on it.
Well, if Tony Joyner hadn't tipped it like that, I think Rickerson would have intercepted the ball. I mean, you can't hardly blame him. The ball's coming by him. But Joyner, I think, is right here. There he is, Joyner. Now watch as he comes off one player, back into the slot. Rickerson has the interception, number 23, but Joyner gets the knockdown from Rickerson.
Second down and 10. 38-12. And as Florida tries to win its 4th in a row in this series, and this is a little reminiscent of the game here 2 years ago. It was a 34-7 victory by Florida. Weatherford across the middle. It's caught. Joslyn Shaw. This Drew Weatherford saga is kind of interesting, Gary. I mean, you know, he's benched for Xavier Lee in that Alabama game. Sits. If that happens, do you go through doubts that you'll ever get the chance again?
Absolutely, because it's out of your control. Xavier Lee is a good athlete. He showed with scrambling ability in that day against Alabama that he could be a type of Tebow-type quarterback, the new wave quarterback. And you say, I might never get a chance again. It's tough.
And here's the handoff to Parker coming near side. Brandon Spikes gets him. And you saw a brief glimpse of Xavier Lee. He's off the depth chart now after his benching. But Weatherford says the two of them have always been close friends. Both highly recruited. 4th and 2.
Yeah, Xavier was dismissed from the team for a couple weeks too. So he now has lost his backup job to Ponder.
Christian Ponder is the backup quarterback to Weatherford. 4th and 2 with 5:52 to go. Toss, Parker Goes right, Joyner. Got him. Senior day for Tony Joyner.
Let's give some credit to that Florida defense now, Vern. They've got a lot of points on them, LSU, Kentucky, and Georgia, but today they're pitching a touchdown shutout.
Toyota presents Heroes of the Fall.
It was 1997. We're playing at Florida State. They're #1 in the country. They beat us. They're probably playing in the national championship. Janikowski puts Florida State ahead, makes a mockery of our university, and coach drew something up on his card and asked everybody that we understand, and we all said yeah. Then we got in the huddle, and I asked everybody, do we know what we're doing? And I remember Jacques Wes looking at me and goes, I've got no idea what we're doing. So we get to the line, and Jacques Wes runs a great curl and go. Ball falls right in there, and we get it down there on the 20-yard line, hand off the ball to Fred, and Fred take care of the rest. It was a great win for Florida. To be able to knock off the #1 team in the way we did it was pretty special.
Toyota, moving forward.
Well, here we are. Here we are. Yeah. I think he posed for the original trophy in 1937. Well, here's a list of candidates for the Heisman.
Now, 5 of them are there, but it's really 4 because it's going to be the winner of the Missouri-Kansas game between Daniels and Reesing, right? Todd Reesing, excuse me. So one of those guys will be eliminated, so it's down to 4. And you know, it always works out, doesn't it? Everybody worries about this in October, but by the end of November, it always works out.
Here's the handoff up the middle, out to the 30-yard line. Or it's Tebow, I beg your pardon. Well, Darren McFadden had that 321-yard day against South Carolina to equal a Southeast Conference record, and then yesterday he was dazzling.
Yes, South Carolina's had a tough time stopping the run, but I'm more impressed with the 206 and all the plays he played at quarterback against LSU to knock off the #1 team. He definitely, when you look at the ballot, you definitely have to think, should I vote McFadden? You know, I mean, look what's happening here. You definitely have a race now. And in Tebow, no one's done what Tebow has done before. Look at that play. They tried to put a hit on him that time and couldn't do it. And there he goes. Can you imagine a quarterback doing that to Florida State? A quarterback.
Oh, you run out of superlatives. Tebow going left. This is his 13th carry for 89 yards. He's rushed for 2 touchdowns. That's his mom Pam on the left, his dad Bob. 2 of the boys, Peter and Robbie, are here tonight, and the sister, as we've mentioned, is on a mission in Bangladesh. This one will come back. The flag was thrown pre-snap.
Before the snap, false start, number 73 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's Carlton Metter. Tonight on CBS, once this game is put to bed, CSI Miami followed by CSI New York. And 48 Hours Mystery. That's the lineup tonight on CBS. That is the 11th penalty against the Gators. So first down and 15. Harvin in the slot. Gets the pass. Comes right. Watch out. Watch out. Anthony Hula saved the touchdown. It's a 40-yard gain.
40-yard gain on a pass that was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. It's really hard to even imagine all the weapons and all the ways that this Florida offense has grown. Remember, they couldn't do this earlier in the year. Harvin wasn't quite at this level. Caldwell was coming off an injury. Remember that?
Right.
Then Cedric Cornelius Ingram. Excuse me. I got so many guys I can't remember the names.
They've got some options.
Yes.
Here's Caldwell in motion. They hand it off to Keaston Moore, and he plunges up the middle inside the 25. Now let's go down and check in once again with Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. I spoke to Tebow about the Heisman. He said it is so hard not to think about it, honestly, with everyone bringing it up. But he said it just motivates him to work harder. He said he'll probably think more about it after this game. The only time he's gotten excited about talking about it, though, was when he was told former winners had a vote. And that means his boyhood idol, former Gator quarterback Danny Werfel, could vote for him, guys.
Well, Tracy, I'm not going to... Well, yes, we have an injured player down, so we'll step aside. Be right back. Darius McClure was the injured player, but he was helped to his feet, then trotted off unaided. And we're back to play on second down. Tebow has Harvin come back to join him. Harvin goes left. Harvin comes right. Harvin up the middle. Florida touchdown. It's just so easy. Or looks that way.
I've really never seen anything like this.
Harvin's a sophomore. Tebow's a sophomore.
Right.
Murphy's a junior. Ingram's a junior. That's what we were saying. There are only two starters on this offense who are seniors. Caldwell and Metter.
And Drew Miller.
That's right, three.
Oh, that's terrible. See, no big deal. 3. 2 is amazing. 3 fantastic, and I'm saying they're preseason number 1.
Tim Tebow's had some night. He can also high jump.
He's got it, doesn't he, Vern? He's got it, and he's got stats, and he's got a high-profile program. Look at those numbers tonight.
Ruby Tuesday player of the game. Look at that, 262 through the air, 89 on the ground, 5 touchdowns. Pretty good bid.
Yeah, and that doesn't even count who Urban Meyer says is our Reggie Bush, Percy Harvin. 16 carries for 157 yards. And I want to say something about Tony Joyner and Urban Meyer. I really salute Urban Meyer saying, you know what, you did something wrong, I punished you, but I'm going to give you back your captaincy. I thought that was great, and he's going to earn a lot of respect from his team for doing that.
Here's the kickoff taken by Joslin Shaw. Well, he's got a lane down the right side. Finally knocked out of bounds by Major Wright. Now it's time for the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. This was some time ago. Here's Mick Huber of the Florida Radio Network.
Tebow takes the snap on a rocker step, in some trouble. Eludes pressure, going to run the ball to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he's in! Touchdown! Oh my! Tim Tebow touchdown on a miraculous escape for a touchdown run.
Tim Tebow grew up wanting to be a Gator. Remember, I met him for the first time when he was on his official recruiting visit to Alabama, Mike Shula.
Wow.
They finished second. Here's Weatherford back. In trouble. Goes right, he's down. Moses Jenkins, number 36, with the sack. And Mike Shula tells the story about coming to Tebow's house Christmas. And he said he walked up to the front door and the Christmas tree, the ornaments all were Gators.
He's trying to recruit them.
Yeah, and the Christmas tree had Gators inside. He said, I thought it was a long shot.
Well, he couldn't have gone to a better school to take advantage of his skills with this offense. And high school coaches all over the country are going to be looking for Tim Tebows to play this position.
There just aren't that many. Here's Weatherford.
Oh, did he get rocked? Did he get rocked? And now Florida next year will reload with all these freshman defensive linemen and these freshman defensive backs and all these, only 2 on defense and 3 on offense, and they're going to get bigger and stronger. And you know, the other thing about Florida is, I think emotionally, what they went through last year going for the national championship is kind of what LSU went through this year. They had all those tight games. They finished very late. Then they started their offseason program. They had to get Tebow ready to play quarterback. They need an emotional break from football, and I think that'll be richly deserved now.
3rd and 17. 45-12. Deep into double coverage. Incomplete. So the streak is intact for Drew Weatherford. Well, doubleheader for you tomorrow. The NFL on CBS. 4 games early. Lead game is Oakland to Kansas City. 2 games late. Lead game Denver at Chicago. And it all begins with the NFL Today. James Brown and the group. And a special story tomorrow night with Everson Walls and Sean Springs. Ron Springs' dad. Ron Springs' life has taken a turn for the worse after the transplant. The donated kidney from Everson Walls. He is in a coma in Dallas-Fort Worth, and his son Sean will talk about that on the NFL Today tomorrow. 4th and 17. Weatherford deep left side. Incomplete. Ball will go over on downs. Another reminder tonight on CBS. We'll begin with the CSI Miami, followed by CSI New York, and then 48 Hours Mystery. We are 148 away from that.
This is Gator country. Florida's only lost under Urban Meyer 1 home game in 3 years to Auburn. Remember that football game changed the whole makeup of the SEC this year when he lost that football game at home to Auburn on that double kick by the freshman kicker. 2 kicks after the timeout. And how about this? Florida's next game might be against their old coach, Ron Zook, in Illinois in a bowl game. Would that be fun to watch?
Could happen. Well, they'll take a knee. They lost at home to Auburn 17-20. We said, look at this. This is the first time in Urban Meyer's career as a head coach, it began in Bowling Green, then Utah, that he has served as a 3rd-year head coach.
Yes. He kind of somewhat admitted to being emotionally drained too this year, saying, you know, it's a lot of work to get this young team ready. Florida State has a lot of work to go. They still are not where they were or where they want to be.
1:05 to go. Well, among the great games we've been privileged to broadcast this year, the LSU-Florida game in prime time down in Baton Rouge. And this Florida team, as you look at the long faces of the guys from Tallahassee, this Florida team had the lead in that game, and Les Miles goes for 4th down conversions 5 times and passes a sure-tying field goal. If this Florida team makes one of those stops, Gary, they might be the team that's
you bet.
In Atlanta. 3rd and 12. As it is, we'll see Tennessee and LSU next Saturday.
Florida puts 540-plus yards on the board today.
Tebow, 19 of 28 for 262, 3 touchdowns. He rushed 13 times for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the regular season is over. As they would say in November, a year from now, it's in the hands of the voters.
It's going to be hard to forget this one.
Bobby Bowden and Urban Meyer with a quick exchange of pleasantries at midfield. Tim Tebow made a strong bid for that Heisman Trophy tonight. 45-12 is the final. We'll begin tonight with CSI Miami, CSI New York, and 48 Hours Mystery. Except for those of you on the West Coast, Tim Brandel will be along with the Scoreboard Show. For Tracy Wolfson and Gary Danielson, Vern Lundquist, good night from Gainesville. We'll see you in Hotlanta.